Hello YouTube! Welcome to JW Military Finance. I'm your host, JW. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the Service Member Civil Relief Act. But first, please subscribe to this channel. The button's right here. I need you to click that for me, please. Alright, reward me with the click for the information you're about to learn. Service Member Civil Relief Act. What is it? How do you get it? How much money do you get back? I'm going to let you know. Service Member Civil Relief Act was founded many years ago to help service members lessen the burden of the debt that they accumulated prior to joining the military. Now, this isn't always the case. You got to keep watching to learn a little trick. All right. But debts that you incurred prior to joining the military, you can receive a reduction on the interest rate of those loans. Any percentage over 6% is reduced down to 6% by the law, and you will get a refund of the amount of interest that you paid over 6% in most cases. The Service Member Civil Relief Act, you're eligible once you receive active duty orders. So if you're a reservist and you get activated on orders, you can use Service Member Civil Relief Act. Also National Guard and active duty military. As soon as you get your first set of orders, you can use that for debts that you had prior to your military service. Now that's the big kicker, the prior to the military service. When I joined the Navy, I was 18 years old, and the only debt I had was an automobile loan, and it was less than 6%. I imagine this is the vast majority of people. There are people that join the military later that have student loans, and they have credit cards, all of that good stuff, and they can use this to get their debt reduced. You can also use Service Member Civil Relief Act while you're on active duty to cell phone providers, like when you're deploying and you're putting your cell phone service on hold, you can use Service Member Civil Relief Act for that. You can also use it to terminate a lease. So if you get military orders and they have you leaving before your lease ends, you can use it to terminate your lease, a rental agreement. You can even use it for an auto loan, an auto lease. All right. If you've got orders taking you to Japan and you are stationed stateside and you have a auto lease, you can use Service Member Civil Relief Act, SCRA, to get out of that lease. So there's a lot of neat benefits, stuff that I learned from doing this. There's like a whole list of things. If you Google Service Member Civil Relief Act, but they weren't important enough or wouldn't affect enough people that I felt it was warrant to talk about them. The biggest thing is credit card interest, car service, cell phone service, leases, automobile, and home rents. Those are the big things. The other thing that you can do is it allows you to vote in your home state, even if you're not stationed there. So that falls under the SCRA as well, your ability to vote and claim other states as your residency. I didn't know that. I found that interesting learning from this. How does it work? Like I said, loans prior to your active duty service, if the interest rate is over 6%, it's reduced to 6% and you're refunded that amount of money over it, or it's applied to your remaining balance, which is the same thing. What do you need to request SCRA benefits to be applied? First, you need your military orders. Second, the bank or loan provider that you are going to request the benefit from probably has a form that you need to fill out. In my case, both USAA, Navy Federal, and my federal student loans all had a form through the provider that I needed to fill out. And then I was a unique one, all right? There are 3 states that have their own state laws. This is what benefited me and might benefit you if you already have debts and you've been active duty, all right? So it doesn't do new debts. It only does old. It only does things before you join. So if you apply for SCRA and you had a credit card before you join, you can get that credit card reduced. But if you open a new one, it's going to be at whatever the interest rate is. They're not going to reduce it to the 6%. Unless you're either from been stationed in, or I guess you live there now, all right? But you're either living in, been stationed in, or from one of these states: Louisiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know how many military bases Ohio has. Pennsylvania's got a good amount, all right? Fort Dix and all of them are up there. Actually, I think Fort Dix is New Jersey, but there's a bunch of bases in Pennsylvania. And then Louisiana, not a huge military presence, National Guard. There is a joint reserve base in Louisiana. New Orleans, I'm active duty. I was stationed in Louisiana. Now, I didn't know this. The word kind of started getting out, but there's a Louisiana statute, state law, that says, hey, active duty and military, you can apply for SCRA benefits under the Louisiana state law. So that's exactly what I did. I sent them the state law registration, or what the state law code was, my military orders, and the bank form to request SCRA benefits. Now, I sent it to Nelnet for my student loans, I sent it to USAA for my credit cards, and I sent it to Navy Federal for my credit cards. All right. To my surprise, all right, USAA took roughly 30 days to get back to me on my credit cards. 30 days later, one day I'm logging into my USAA for, I don't know, can't remember what it was, logging in there, and my credit card, which was paid off, I hadn't used in years, all of a sudden has a negative balance for over $2,000. It had a negative. I'm like, whoa, what the heck is this? I was not expecting to get $2,000, over $2,000 back. Called up USA, hey, what is this? They told me what it was, figured out how to transfer that negative balance from the credit card to a savings account and moved the money as I saw fit. So they actually went all the way back to the day I joined the Navy in 2002. Now, I didn't have a USA credit card in 2002, but from my first ever credit card with USAA, they credited me back everything, all interest paid, over 6%. So they credited me back to $2,000, which if you read between the lines, that means I paid over $4,000, closer to $5,000 in interest over that period of time. Time's going by, I'm waiting to hear back from Navy Federal, I'm waiting to hear back from Nelnet. Christmas comes around, and I get home from my Christmas leave, and I have a letter from USAA with a check. And USAA actually, even though they didn't have to, they lowered the interest rate on my auto loan that I had with USAA and reduced it from, I think it was around a 5% auto loan that I had, and they lowered it down to 4% and then credited me everything over the 4%. So I think I got like $700 back from that. So I was like, holy cow, can't believe it. Oh, here it is. I got the letter right here. They credited me back $775. So this is word from word from USAA. It says, USA is committed to go above and beyond for our military members. Rates were capped at 4%. All right. Because of your account's already been paid off, we've issued you a refund. Here's your check for $775.07. All right. So that's pretty cool. USAA lowered it to 4%. So if you have an auto loan with USAA and you're from one of these three states, you potentially could get some money back for that auto loan. I called Nelnet, all right, and they said, hey, cool, we're looking into it, but the answer ended up being that this is a state law and they were federal student loans, so they followed the federal code. So it wasn't a big deal. I only had one of my student loan accounts that was over 6%, and it was like 6.5%. So I was, trying to fight over a couple $100 maybe. It didn't work out, and I understood it because federal, state. Lastly, Navy Federal. Now, Navy Federal did the same thing. It took them forever, all right? I applied for SCRA benefits with Navy Federal on October 17th, and I got the refund from them, give or take, around February 6th. It's today, February 12th, recording this. wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. I had set these huge aspirations for it. I was excited, but they still sent me back over $3,500. All right. They went all the way back to 2002, just like USA did. They capped the cards at 6%, and I thought that was pretty cool. They put them at 6% and refunded everything over 6%. And they sent me a nice fancy letter saying that the interest rate would be at 6% on my credit cards until I ended service. So this does go, SCRA benefits do only apply they expire 30 to 90 days after your military orders have ended. So that was the big thing. For me, I didn't know about those 3 states, Louisiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. All right, I'm logging into my credit card right now to see what the interest rate is, and it appears that it is not at 6%, at least not on that card. And check the other card, they're not at 6%, so that's pretty interesting. Now, granted, I carry no balance, so it's irrelevant, but they told me they were going to lower it to 6%, and it's not at 6%. If you hear colors going off, again, active duty military, colors going off in the background. I'll try to log into USAA. But those are the big things. You can use SCRA benefits for credit card interest, cell phone service, termination of a lease, termination of a rental agreement, and to get some money back. All right. So you can use it if you are a new military member and you had debts prior to joining the military, or if you, I'm trying to multitask here, or if you're one of these lucky people that are either stationed in, or living in Pennsylvania. So you had to have your orders, all right? You had to prove that you had orders to Louisiana. So if I had my orders on hand, I was lucky enough to have that. If you were someone that was maybe stationed in Louisiana, I'm just going to stop because I can't find the interest rate on that card. If you were someone that was stationed in Louisiana a long time ago, so my sister's husband was Army in Louisiana, and he's trying to get a hold of his orders to prove that he was in Louisiana. He has submitted his DD-214, so it'd be interesting to see if that works because the DD-214 was issued in the state of Louisiana, so he's hoping that that'll work. But yeah, you have to have those. Lastly, a couple things that I wanted to talk about on SCRA. Even though it doesn't apply, they won't lower your interest rate or anything like that, but the American Express Platinum and also the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit cards, they have a bunch of awesome benefits, and they waive their annual fee under the SCRA. So active duty military, that Amex Platinum waives the active duty fee, and it gives you a whole bunch of cool stuff. Now, the difference between the Amex Platinum and the Chase Sapphire Reserve is the Amex Platinum, you have to pay it off every single month. You can't carry a balance on it. So that one might not be as good for everyone. Now, if you're good about always paying it off, cool, use that Amex Platinum. The Chase Sapphire Reserve is just like a normal credit card. That's the one I actually have. And you could carry a balance on it. I don't, but you can carry a balance on it. It gets you access to airport lounges, gets you access, you can get TSA pre-check. It's military members are TSA pre-check if you didn't know, but you can use that credit for your spouse. Gets you a bunch of benefits, and the annual fee, which is $550, that's insane that this credit card has a $550 annual fee, but it's waived under SCRA. So take a look at that. Take advantage of SCRA, and seriously, if you've ever been stationed in or you joined the military from Louisiana, Ohio, or Pennsylvania, you need to find out your state statute and get that. I will put the Louisiana statute in the show notes, all right, for all you Louisiana residents or people serving in Louisiana. I'll put that statute in the show notes so that you can look it up and apply under that benefit. If you message me on Facebook and you need the actual PDF of the Louisiana statutes, go ahead and do that. I will send it to you because I have it on my phone. I don't think I can attach that file to YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you learned something. If I'm going to get you a bunch of money back, subscribe, please. Subscribe to this channel. I appreciate every single one of you, and thanks for watching.